Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I know it's been a long time since you all have seen or heard from Wa, but so much has changed in the past few weeks. I wanted to come and give you guys a life update. As you can, I guess one of the biggest changes that you see that my channel name has changed, and I changed it yesterday because of all of the different things that's been going on with YouTube and their new rules with family vlogging and the different restrictions that they're putting in place. And so since I am not one of those, I guess you can, since I'm not one of those large channels, I don't think that, I would be too affected, but I wanted to take like little steps here and there so that, my videos are not really affected. Sorry about that. My, uh-oh. I hope I didn't zoom too much. Wait, let me see something. Okay. Alright, sorry about that. My battery died, so I had to replenish it. Yeah, so I went ahead and I changed my channel name from Roper Family 2012 to the Shantika Experience, because that's just what I can think of at the moment. Well, my life is pretty much a mixture of a whole bunch of experiences, so whenever I have time to film some of it, then you'll get to experience my experience. Get it? So yeah, I wanted to come and give you guys a little bit of an update on what's been going on. I have Valerian with me. She's in the back. I'm just coming from the laundry. Let me show you guys her. Say hi, Valerian. Say hello. Say hi. Oh God. So yeah, that was the popo. Anyway, Valerian is 20 months. She's 20 months. She's almost 2. Can you guys believe that? She'll be 2 in January. It's September the 20-something. Who knows? Let me look at my phone. Oh yeah, it's September the 24th. I'm gonna try to get this up today. But just like I said before, I just came from the laundry. I wanted to knock some laundry out and get that done so that this one can run around for the next 2 hours. And I put her down for a nap around noon. So first things first, Viola's in school. She's really enjoying elementary school. She's in kindergarten, and this girl is like learning so much. She's learning a whole bunch. Yes, Tongue. Thank you. Put it in your cup holder, okay? And so she's just learning so much. She's a huge sponge. Every day she comes home telling me something new. And so, yeah, so she's really enjoying her kindergarten experience. And I'm grateful and I'm glad that, because I was a little bit skeptical because of the school is actually not the best performing school because of the neighborhood that we live in. Y'all know I live in the hood, so she's going to pretty much a failing school, and as a result of their status as a low performing school, the district has extended their instructional time. So for most kindergartners, they get out of school at 2 p.m. but because of the situation with the school, the district has extended the learning time, the school time, till 3:15. So Viola is in school from 8:15 to 3:15, and I drop her off at 8:15 because so she can eat breakfast. Yes, Viola. Yes, Valerian. Yes. I see your foot in the air. And so yes, um, so yes, they get out of school at 3:15, which is great because, you know, she's doing so well. Viola's actually in the um, highest level kindergarten class, because they have 3 level kindergarten classes. They have the first level, which is for the children who've never been to school, never had any type of academic experience, and then there's a kindergarten 2 for the children who, with the class that is mostly made up of immigrant children. There was Viola started off in that class before they had to split the class, because the class had over 30 children in there, and most of those children did not speak English. They had Hispanic children, children from Asia, and there was one girl in particular who had just moved from Vietnam, and she had no idea. She did not speak any English. And so that particular kindergarten teacher was a dual language teacher who helps the children transition and, you know, helps them learn English and different things like that. And then the highest kindergarten class, which is what Viola's in, are the ones that have been to school, been to pre-K, did the 3-year-old pre-K, as well as the VPK, the voluntary pre-kindergarten program, which Viola did do at the YMCA. And so she entered into that class knowing her name, knowing how to write her first and last name, and knowing her alphabet, knowing how to count, knowing her colors, shapes, and different things like that. And so she's in that highest class because they've already had a lot of that foundational experience. And so and they still test them to, you know, make sure. So knowing that the way that the kindergarten is being set up, I have it was a lot of, like, they had a lot of new teachers, and so it was a lot going on. Because Viola started off in one class with a dual language teacher, and that class had 30 kids. And so then we got a letter saying that they hired some more kindergarten teachers, and that particular class was split. And so now Viola's in a class of 15 with the higher level kindergartners, and all of the other children have been split into other kindergarten classes. And so I was kind of grateful for that, because she gets the attention that she so desperately, you know, fights for. And the teacher, you know, doesn't have an overwhelming amount of students in that class. Now the teacher, this is her first year teaching, and so there's a lot of challenges that come along with being a first year teacher. She's trying to find her footing, trying to find where she fits in. And also she was a teacher's aide, and she does have a background in teaching, but this is her first time running an entire classroom by herself. And so, you know, she made that very clear. She explained that to us. There's some parents in the class who are just the epitome of ignorant. And so one in particular gave her teacher such a hard time at open house with all of the ridiculous questions, and you know, just the way that she spoke to the woman, like she spoke like down to her, like she was like like she was an insubordinate, and I didn't appreciate that. So I made sure after, yes, put it in your cup holder, okay? And so I made sure that I, you know, reassured the teacher and let her know that, you know, whatever I could do to make her teaching experience a little easier, I have no problem. So anyway, we also had some other parents who were griping and crying about the little one piece of paper home. They were crying about homework, period. They didn't want their kindergartners to have homework because kindergarten is just to color, play, and take naps. And it's like, listen, we're in the 21st century. It's not the kindergarten of yesteryear where that's what you did all day. No, you actually have to learn, because there are so many different requirements that this state has implemented. These kids have to know certain skills and learn certain things, so that once they get up in the second and third grade where they do all this testing, they're not falling behind. And you can kind of tell the parents who literally do absolutely nothing with their kids, and the ones that do, that really want their kids to succeed. They not only have them do, because just like whatever Violet gets for homework, I'm gonna have to finish this on the inside because Valerian is on the screen. All right, I'll go inside the house so she can run around, and I'll talk to you guys in a little. All right, finally done with all of the laundry. Got everything folded and put away, and so now I can sit down and have a, well, I can't say uninterrupted because Valerian's still running around here. I just gave her her bottle, so she's having that, so hopefully she'll let me do this. Yes, so I don't know if you guys heard all of the things that I was talking about in regards to Violet's kindergarten. So it's a lot happening there, and she's doing really, really, really well, and she enjoys it. She really enjoys being able to get dropped off at the front of the school and walk in and go to the cafeteria by herself and pick her breakfast. And she really, I think that's like the highlight of her entire school, is just being able to walk into school by herself independently and go to the cafeteria, pick out her own food, and sit down and eat with her friends without anybody around, without mommy, and just be a kid. I was the most worried about that because, she's been with me for so long. Just the thought of having to just drop her off and letting her go was like really terrifying. But I really had to let go of that fear and let the girl be independent. And so that's been a good thing, a good transition for Viola. Also, I think when I have to talk about the job situation in another video, because it's so much that I have to say about that whole situation. It's just it's a lot going on. But anyway, I'm no longer working, and I'll explain that in the next video next week. And so, but just for this video, I just wanted to, give an update and just explain, if you guys see my channel and you see the name has changed, you know why, because so much has been going on with YouTube and different things like that. And so I'm gonna be, putting out a lot more content that's more adult related and just parent related. And I don't really vlog as much because I'm so busy. Like, life is literally like once that school world starts, that elementary world starts, it's like it's so busy because Violet doesn't always get homework. She may get a few sheets here and there, and the actual work is so easy. It's so easy. She literally flies right through it. So I give supplemental educational activities that I require Violet to do, even on top of her homework and even when she doesn't have any homework, because there are certain things that Violet was kind of like stumbling on. I wouldn't say it was a legit struggle. It was just her getting acclimated to the alphabet. There were certain letters that, thank you. There were certain letters that she was struggling to remember. And there were also one letter in particular, the letter Y, which she was writing backwards. And so once we got that rectified. I had her tracing every single day, tracing, and yesterday was the first day. She's like, Mommy, I know how to write it the right way, and she just wrote it. So I was like, okay, cool, all of my labor has not been in vain. And so one of the critiques that Viola's teacher noticed about her was that Viola's very confident in what she knows, and that confidence kind of turns into a little bit of arrogance, where it's like, okay, I know my alphabet, I don't want to know nothing else, don't tell me nothing else. And it's like, no, you know your alphabet, but you also need to be able to identify capital letters and lowercase letters. And so it's great that you know your alphabet, but if you don't know the difference between capital letters and lowercase letters, then that's just a different issue. And so I had to really speak to her and let her know that you need to be open. Just because you know something, it's fine. Stop. It's fine that you know your letters, but there are also other concepts to letters that you also need to learn as well, and you need to be open to learning, because just because you know your letters, that doesn't mean it just stops there. You need to learn everything else. And so it's the same thing with counting to 100. And so I was trying to figure out, because I was doing a lot of these things by hand like a crazy nut. And I didn't realize that you can actually go online and print certain things, so I didn't have to do all of this written stuff by myself. And so I found a number chart, a 1 to 100 number chart that I printed out, and we've been going over counting to 100. And so Viola's really excited about being able to count to 100. And then we kind of touched a little bit on counting by 10. And so, you know, all of that in stride. We just do a little bit every day. I don't overwhelm her. You know, she's always, oh, I'm bored, Mommy, can I do an activity, a learning activity? And she also does hours and hours of ABC Mouse, and she's on level 4 in ABC Mouse. She literally she's been just flying through the activities. And so when she's done with that, you know, I want her to, you know, practice her handwriting, and also practice, you know, other concepts as far as counting properly, learning how to write the letters properly. And also we're going over sight words. We're actually, we're paying a little bit more attention to the words when we're reading, when I'm reading books to her. So it's literally so much. Like, I try to get as much done before she gets home from school, because once she gets home from school, it's like, it doesn't stop. I let her play for an hour, and then she will eat dinner, and then we will start doing homework. Once homework is done, I'll let her go take a nice little bubble bath, sit in the tub for about 30 to 45 minutes, let her play in the tub. After that, then we'll sit down and I'll have her do one sheet of tracing her letters, one sheet of tracing her entire name, first, last, and middle, because that was another thing that she was kind of confused about: her first name, her middle name, and her last name. So now that she understands that there's a first, middle, and last, she, is like, okay, and so we're learning that. I'm having her trace her, even though she knows how to write her name, I'm having her trace for handwriting purposes, because she can write her name, but it's not as legible as it should be. And so I have her practicing her handwriting, so that, making sure all of the letters are written the correct way, because it's great that you can write your name, but the letters are weird, it doesn't really count. And so, yeah, we're doing all of that. And so, yeah. And then after we do that, it's like an extra hour, and then after that, she literally watches TV until it's time to go to bed. Sometimes I let her go to bed at 8:30. If she's misbehaving, she'll go to bed at 8:30. If she's being good, I'll, have her go to bed at 9. And by that time, she's out. She'll fight me for bedtime. Mommy, can I have 2 more minutes? Can I have 2 more minutes? And as soon as she lays on the bed, she's out in less than 5 minutes. So, yeah. and then also, with Valerian as well. So I have to give you guys an update on her. Say hi, Valerian.
Hi.
Say how you doing?
Good.
You doing good? Oh, you're a big girl now, right?
Hi.
You're a big girl. How old are you, Valerian? Say 1. Let me see the finger. Say 1.
No.
You're 1. And her hair is growing, as you guys can see. I have her hair combed. Right, Valerian? You hang out with mommy? Yeah?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Good.
Yeah, you gonna get it? Go ahead. Good job. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, you're playing with your Boppy cover that mommy never used. Oh, man. How you doing?
Good.
You doing good? You being a good girl? Oh, yes. Turn around, turn around. Oh. What else you want to say? Huh?
Good.
You say hi to the people? Never seen you in a long time. You did? Oh, boy. Yeah? You'll say bye-bye? Come here. You gonna come on? Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So as you see, that's Valerian. Valerian's my little sidekick. Right? Right. So we hang out all day, and she has, her time with me, which is really important because, she was in daycare, and so much going on with that situation. I mean, it was a good daycare. It's just it was so many kids. And so I'll tie that all into the job situation, which I'll explain in my next vlog. But anyway, going on to Valerian. Valerian, as you guys know, if you've been following our journey, she was born at 36 weeks. She was 4 pounds 15 ounces at birth. She also was born with a covered umbilical, which was repaired in January. And at her 18-month baby well care visit, the doctor noticed that she was not talking, and I did express to him that she was not talking at all. And so he did diagnose her with as you can see, she's doing a lot better. Since then, he said that she was developmentally delayed, and so and that was pretty much with everything. She didn't sit up until she was 10 months old. Almost 10 and a half, 11 months old. She didn't walk until she was 13 and a half months old. So her development was a lot slower than most little kids. And so the doctor thought it would be a great idea to have her to do some early intervention. And so Valerian's going to speech therapy twice a week. And she's been going for the past month. And she's been doing really well. She's still trying to build a rapport with this speech therapist. And it's just taking some time. I've just opted to let Valerian go into the speech therapy by herself because I was accompanying her, and I just felt like my being there was a little bit of a distraction. So for the last couple of sessions, I've been sitting in the lobby and letting her go off with the speech therapist so that she could pay full attention. Okay. That she could pay full attention to what she needs to be doing. And also being around her sister, who is like Queen Chatterbox. She's really come out of her shell as far as talking. She's doing a lot of repeating things that she can repeat. There are certain things that she just literally she just cannot repeat. And so she'll try to say it. That's one thing about her. She will try to say it, but she's working on it. And I think as she grows, she'll get the hang of certain words and phrases. And I'm not really worried about her long term. And so she's going twice a week to speech therapy. I work with her. I talk to her the same way I talk to you. I speak to my kids the same way. I don't talk baby talk. My nose is itching, and I know somebody may say, why do you always rub your nose all the time? Because my nose is itching, and I don't want to dig in my nose on camera. And so it just bothers me, just itches the heck. And so yeah, that's why I broke my nose. I rub my nose all the time because I don't want to dig in my nose because that's gross. But I do because I enjoy it. It makes me feel great. But I wouldn't do that while talking to you guys because that's really gross. So just overlook the nose hitting and rubbing and all of that. Just try to disregard that if you can. If you can't, then don't watch. That's all I can say, because I mean, good grief. But anyway, yes. And so also going back to Viola was going to a therapist. She was seeing a therapist because I was having a lot of behavior issues with her, and a lot of it was associated with her jealousy towards her sister. And I've seen a couple of videos on sibling jealousy and that issue with that, and it was getting to the point where she was really acting out. She was starting to mistreat her sister, hitting her when I wasn't looking, and having really bad meltdowns in public. And so I really had to take a step. I spoke to her pediatrician. He referred me to a pediatric therapist, and Viola went for like maybe, I'll say, 5 or 6 sessions. And it wasn't just about her, it was about giving me the different tools on how to discipline and redirect her into just talk about your emotions instead of acting out. And so a lot of it has been working. I've been using a lot of my discipline strategies as far as redirection, lots and lots of time out. We stop the behavior, and you have to sit, and until you calm down, you cannot get up. If you fall out on the floor, that extends your timeout time. And one thing Viola hates more than anything is to sit in one spot, because she is 5 and her entire life revolves around running and ripping. And so to be, to having to sit in one spot, not being able to watch TV, not being able to do, kind of whipped her butt into shape. And I'm really big on taking away things. No television, no ABC mouse, no nothing. And so Viola's she's already into this I'm bored type situation. Like, it's very rare that she wants to just sit and play with her toys nowadays. She wants to do activities, which is why I do a lot of educational activities with her. I have her trace her letters, I have her say her alphabet, I have her recite different things, because she likes the engagement, she likes the one-on-one interaction, and I think that's just what makes her happy. And me just having her sit when she misbehaves has really calmed her down. And plus she understands that there are consequences to your actions. She'll come later on and she'll say sorry and different things, and I have to let her know that sometimes sorry isn't enough. You have to, pay for what you did, which means I need 5 minutes of you sitting quietly with your mouth shut and you being quiet. Now after you sit, and I don't really let her sit for the whole 5 minutes, but she thinks she's sitting for 5 minutes. And so if she sits for 2 minutes straight without saying anything, I'll let her get up and continue on doing what she's doing. But yeah, we were struggling for this entire summer, and even up until her going to school with her, behavior. And surprisingly enough, she hasn't had much of an issue with school as far as behavior, because, the teacher, told me one little incident and I got on her behind. And after that incident, she's been pretty good. She'll probably do something, but then she'll redeem herself and, she'll make it better. But other than that, yeah, I mean, that's just pretty much it. Vern is working 6-7 days a week these days. He's not around that much, and I'll explain further all of that stuff that's going on with that. And I'm here with the kids, cooking, cleaning, I'm still studying. Come here so I can take it off. Come here. I'm still studying for my board certification, which I'm going to be taking in February. And so, yeah, that's just pretty much it. Yeah, I'm still studying for that. It's a huge, huge, huge exam. And yeah, I'm studying for that. We're going to plan on moving next year. I know I say that every year, but I mean, it's very hard to find a rental home in South Florida. It's very difficult to find a rental home that's affordable and that's not literally in a drug den. It's very hard to find a nice residential, affordable rental home because I'm really over the apartment living at this point. I've been over it for quite some time. I've lived in the same apartment for 15 years. We live in the hood. I hate living around here because of the shootings. There was a shooting a couple weeks ago, and Viola School is literally around the corner. And once somebody was shooting in the neighborhood, they locked the school down for about 4 hours. And so that was a big, scary thing. And I was telling my husband, we have got to move. We've got to move because it's not safe anymore. And also, they're, getting to the point where the apartment complex, they're not really screening people. They're just letting anybody move in. And the caliber of people, I mean, I know it's low income housing, you're going to get all types of people, but these people have no regard for children at all. They sit and they smoke weed, and that's like, I despise smoking in general, but the weed smoking is so much. And with us living in a duplex, they sit outside and they smoke weed. And then we don't have central AC, and so we have our window units, which means whatever they smoke, it smells up my entire house. One night I had to actually just go outside and tell them, like, listen, can you not smoke weed out here? Because it's smelling up my apartment. And I have 2 little children. And I was really nice about it, and they were really nice about it. And so it was so funny. I went to the laundromat today, and on TV we have this attorney called Howard, and he has a segment on Channel 7 News called Help Me Howard, where people call in and they tell them their dilemma and they ask for advice. And it was so funny because it was this older couple who was complaining about their neighbor who sits and smokes weed so much, and the marijuana is so potent that it literally fills the atmosphere. It's no fresh air. You can't breathe because these people are just smoking weed. And he was trying to find out what he could do legally to stop the smoking. And Help Me Howard was like, you could either go over there and ask him to stop. If they don't stop, you can actually call police on them. And they'll get arrested. And I was just like, okay, but do you want that kind of heat? You got your neighbor arrested for smoking pot in their area. I mean, do you really want that kind of heat? As you know, I watch a lot of Investigation ID, and I watch a lot of Fear Thy Neighbor. And if you've ever watched that show, stuff like that can cause a neighbor feud. And so I'm not all for calling the police if I cannot be anonymous. I wouldn't go as far. I would really try to work with them and be like, can y'all please stop smoking? And if they comply, then cool, which my neighbors did. He did stop smoking after I asked him to stop. But they do it all day long. And so at this point, since he did stop when I asked him to stop and it's not around me, then okay, he'll sit in his vehicle and he'll smoke his weed. I don't care. It's in his car. It's off in the parking lot, so who cares? It still bothers me because you still smell it. It's like there's no fresh air. But you gotta take the bitter with the sweet sometimes. And so, because my thing was like, if he didn't stop, I would have reported him to the landlord, and they will evict you for that. And so yeah, ain't nobody trying to do all that. So, but I did ask, and he did stop. So yeah, I mean, the neighborhood is getting worse. The people that they're renting to are just they're just they don't do nothing all day long. They just get up, smoke weed, get drunk, fuss and fight, and I don't want that environment around my kids. And so I don't care. We've sat down, my husband and I have sat down, we've discussed budgets. I am looking for a higher paying job, because that was the biggest issue with the job that I was working before, that it was extremely low paying, and I'll get further into that in my next vlog. It was very low paying, and it just financially didn't make sense. I was pretty much paying to go to work, so yeah, that was pretty much it. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this vlog, give it a thumbs up. I'm sorry you won't be able to comment because I have to turn off comments, but if you want to reach out, email me. My email is still the same, and I'll see you guys next time.